let Trump get away with what he's getting away with? What's the most important aspect of his rhetoric or the way he presents himself?
I think it's just the fact that he's so unpredictable. The fact that like every single day he's changing his mind. There was a press conference where like every sentence was a contradiction, right? He's like, "We won the war. Oh, we lost. We're not winning the war, but we'll win it. Oh, we can't win the war." He just kept on going on and on and on. And so when you become like that, when you are unpredictable, people were able to project their fantasies onto you, right? So for the MAGA people, Donald Trump is playing a 5D chess game, which is like his real goal is not to win the war in Iran. His real goal is to destroy the deep state with this war. Donald Trump, if he is to, basically free America of transnational capital, if he's to liberate America from the deep state, who've been in power since the 1963 assassination of JFK, he needs this war to basically consolidate power, right? This war, the deep state wants this war because they want to maintain the American empire, but Donald Trump wants to use this war to become a monarch, which is necessary in order for America to return to its democratic roots. So for them, it's this 5D chess.
Mm-hmm. And he is flirting with the idea of running for a third term. JD Vance, they're trying to separate it. Okay, so he's going to, can you explain how is that going to work? Is it because it's wartime?
Look, I think Donald Trump has been very clear about this. He is going to get a third term. And the reason why is that if he ever steps out of office, the Democrats come to power, the first and only thing that Democrats are going to do is persecute this guy to death, okay? Yeah. I mean, think about what happened to him like when he left office in 2020, right? There was an FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago because he had some classified documents that everyone in Washington has, right? So everything in Washington, D.C. is classified. And like they didn't prosecute Hillary Clinton for having a private email server, which is against, law. They didn't prosecute Joe Biden for having classified documents in his garage in Delaware. So clearly this was a political persecution, right? So you had that FBI raid in Mar-a-Lago. You have lawfare, where six attorney generals were trying to prosecute Donald Trump. You had these lawsuits that were trying to bankrupt Donald Trump. So like if Donald Trump were ever to leave office, the Democrats would just make his life a living hell. They would not just go after him, but they would go after his immediate family, right? Because remember, Don Jr. is involved in a lot of cryptocurrency shenanigans. There's been a lot of insider trading in the Trump White House this past year, and it's all very blatant. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that this is all insider trading. So there are a lot of court cases that they can file against Donald Trump. And Donald Trump understands this. He understands. Look. I'm doing all this. I know that if I leave office, I'll be prosecuted by the Democrats. So I won't leave office. It's that simple. Okay. And a lot of pieces are already in place for his third term. So, for example, he's turning ICE into his basically private secret police, his private police force, and he's expanding their powers. He's talked about deploying National Guard throughout the country. He might use this war to suspend the Constitution. There might be a false flag attack. In 2028, he could technically run as a vice president and have his son, Don Jr., as the presidential nominee. Believe it or not, but there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents you from doing this. It's immoral, but it's not illegal. Also, if the Democrats were to challenge this, it would go to the Supreme Court, and Donald Trump appointed 3 justices to the Supreme Court, and he'll probably appoint 2 more over the next 2 years. So he'll have like a solid majority. So again, I don't know the specifics of what they have in mind. I think he could run for a third term as the vice president, and I think that's the most likely option. But he could also, as this war gets worse and worse, he could also suspend the Constitution, like Zelensky did in Ukraine, right? So I'm pretty confident he will get his third term, though.
It's not just insider trading. They're doing these prediction markets, and he's giving pardons to people who are clearly paying him. The
Yeah.
It's so obvious and nobody speaks about it. You can see the market right before he gives a speech about when he's going to attack Iran again because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. So clearly, there's people on the inside that are making trades, especially in the oil market, but they get away with this organized crime more than I've ever seen anybody get away with this stuff. And
Sorry, but I'm saying he gets away with it because he's doing the bidding of the elite, right? The elite wants this war in Iran, and Trump is doing that. As long as Trump keeps this war going, then the elite will allow him to get away with anything. But once he's out of office, then he'll be destroyed.